He looks nice.
Now you're recording.
All right, so I'm going to mute you guys, and then I'll get right into the meat and potatoes of what we've got going on here. All right, well, everyone, welcome to tonight's call regarding Nikan business. And I'm going to share some interesting information this evening. I'm going to share my screen in just a few moments, but the call is actually coming in directly from Orlando, Florida, at the Florida Hotel. We are currently having our first of the year major event with the grouping of Nikan consultants sharing their visions. Today we had a very special day about the whole idea of humans being more, and humans being more in the 5 pillars of health, of which, of course, is made up of what we believe in. But let me share my screen. And here we go. And let's get started. All right. Well, my name is Michel Martin. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time this evening with me. I have the honor of discussing a subject matter that's very keen to my heart, and it has to do with the financial pillar in our lives and how that impacts us in a big way. You've chosen to look at perhaps upgrading your life right now. And so what we want to talk about is going from not only a healthy wellness environment, like a self-care where you're actually taking care of your physical and mental well-being, to also a self-care in finances where you're looking into taking care of your finances. So let's get right into the subject matter. When you look at our philosophy, Nikan has a holistic approach to life, and it was founded by an idea that Mr. Isamu Masuda brought to the forefront in 1975. A novel idea that success in life is based on a philosophy of balance in 5 areas of your health: mind, body, family, society, and finances. And when you look at the subject matter for this evening, I would like you to consider that this conversation this evening is going to affect 2 pillars: society and finances. But I'd like you to think about the fact that, or the reality that is, that we live where, how does stress affect your life? In what way? You know, modern life today impacts all of us in a variety of different ways. What are some of these reasons that we create stress in our life? Well, it could be financial worries. It could be health concerns. You know, having had a sick mother for many years, it's impacted how I think about things. We also have been programmed to have perhaps not the healthiest of lifestyles. And then again, you look at the demands, whether they're family or from society, that we're having to live with. All of these impact us, and they provide pressure on our daily living that may prevent us from doing the things we really want to do. And look at the pictures on the screen. You know, you look at obesity being a major issue. You look at the financial stress in our homes and so on. And then like the third one, it's like a time that's spiraling out of control. And all of these things relate to a specific sector, at least for this evening. And the conversation revolves more around financial needs. Do you have a lack of money? Do you have more month than money? Do you have healthcare issues of which you have to pay for that you haven't considered? All kinds of unexpected health costs. And that, by the way, is my background. I used to be an employee benefits consultant for small and medium corporations, and my specialty was health and disability insurance. I realized a long time ago that the solution to impacting those costs is to not get sick. And what you've heard prior to this evening, if you've been introduced to the technologies, and if you haven't, I highly recommend you get together with the person that brought you here to live it yourself. You will find that you have your hands on technologies that can have a dramatic impact on your well-being. Other factors is too much debt. You know, in 2008, we went through an adjustment. Now look at it again. People don't have enough money to retire on. Why? For all kinds of reasons. You also have kids that have student debts that they will be paying forever. I mean, doctors have hundreds of thousands of dollars in debts for going to school that they pay for their whole life. Crazy. How about considering the cost of living? You know, they say the cost is competitive, but when you consider that water is more expensive than gas, you may want to reconsider that whole thinking. How about the food around the table? When you start breaking down the details, you realize that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't jive. What are some of the other financial needs? Are you prepared for a loss of employment? Or have you put all your eggs in one basket? I used to work 82 hours a week, not being around the family, and obviously not having time to do any type of physical activity to keep my body and mind active in a healthy way. So you can imagine the stress I was under, and I was, until I discovered Niken, of course. So I brought up also the fact that we've got retirement savings. Do you have enough to retire? Do you have any idea how much a residual income of $1,000, how much you would have to put in a bank or in an investment portfolio to be able to generate that income? We're talking $1 million. And then finally, are you prepared for your taxes? It's, death and taxes. It's the one thing that's guaranteed. Well, are you prepared for it? As a self-employed individual, the IRS code provides many benefits. However, you still need to be prepared. So when you look at what we do on a day-to-day basis, our purpose is to help others choose an active wellness lifestyle, self-care if you want to look at it, so that it can provide better balance in your life. And we do this with the mission of having every home a wellness home. Now, you've been introduced to these technologies. I suspect you have heard and seen or perhaps had your own personal experience with these technologies. Well, have you thought of the impact you could have on other people's lives? I'll give you an example. I know a large number of people, and I share with them what I know with regards to the benefits of these technologies. Now, welcome to the call. I don't know you, but you know 100 people at least that I do not know. And so if we're going to have an impact on society to help change the idea of dependency on the medical system for their health, wow, can you imagine the growth of this when you start sharing and then they start sharing and duplicating that process? And that's what we do. We share with people. We support our customers who receive benefits, of course, with the technologies. We create teams of people to expand his vision. And we also belong to a community of like-minded individuals, or entrepreneurs, as we call it. And so we're interdependent in how we develop our business. It's kind of cool because right now, today and until Sunday, I'm hanging out with a huge group of individuals, of like-minded individuals who want to learn and be more for themselves. So if I was to ask you this question, if you could visualize yourself being more, what would that be like? And what would be important to you? So how do we get started? It's very simple. We join Niken, we become a customer. We experience the benefits of the technologies, and then we go from there to upgrading to a consultant so that we can actually start sharing the word of these technologies. So the second factor, of course, is sharing. And we share and promote these technologies and products, as well as the opportunity to share it with others. And also, finally, the cause. And to me personally, it's the cause. Because if we're going to create a better world for our children and the children of the future, then we need to change how we think. And we want to help people reprogram their thinking about themselves so they can empower themselves to be less dependent. Next, we connect people. We connect people to be part of Niken based on what they want. Now, the reason you're on the call this evening is because you have a need and you're curious. And so what we want to do is help fulfill that curiosity. Next, step 4 is Niken ships those products that you've ordered directly to you, directly to the customers. We have no inventory. We don't have any management of any sort with regards to our business. Once you've upgraded to a Niken consultant, all of the systems are included as part of the costs. So you have access to all of the reporting capabilities necessary to run a business. And then at the end of the day, on the 15th of every month, He can rewards and sends you some commissions based on the amount of products that have been sold in your business, like any other business. So this is how we share active wellness to create active wealth. What we're proposing here is a simple idea of teaching 3 people to reach 3 people. Now, can you imagine if this was duplicated, what impact we would have? So the first step I've already mentioned. Become a consultant for $99, which gives you a web portal that will permit you to do business worldwide, basically. Next, I would suggest you create a goal for your business of $500 in sales. We refer to that as points. It's just a definition for your benefit. But I dare ask you, do you know of any business that can survive on $500 in sales? Well, what if you could? Thirdly, what do? I would suggest you go out there with the assistance of your sponsor, your teacher, and you reach out to your people, to your friends, to your contacts, to individuals at large, and create your customer base, basically. Because there is no business without a customer. And so what you do, we gather customers. Some of those people are then going to come to you and say, hey, listen, is there any money to make in here? Or some people may want to start sharing right away. You may be one of those people. And so we partner up. And then we expand the vision of our business, of your business, and of the business of others. It's a duplicatable process to build a solid and long-term income. So what are some of those results? Well, as you start sharing and teaching 3 people to reach 3, and then those 3 people teach those same 3 people to reach 3, the numbers on the board here is basically an estimate, of course, but it's pretty accurate, are basically representatives of an organization that's growing over time. Now, what kind of impact would $1,300 of monthly income have on your life? How about $2,400? How about $7,100? And then on and on. Those numbers, by the way, are based on a calculation module at $500 in sales. So you're right. If you sold only $500 in products, you couldn't live on that. But what if you were helping people do the same thing? Then you would benefit from that. Whoops, losing my screen. So what we're looking at is what are some of the benefits that you get with regards to NECAN? It's very simple. You get obviously the retail profits. You get cash bonuses. You get all kinds of rewards. We have compensation that basically provides us with the opportunity to get paid. Every dime you're going to make is as a result of helping someone. So there's a sense of benefit associated with that. We also have incentives. In fact, one of my good friends has just come back from an incentive program after reaching a level of success last year to San Francisco, and a 5-star trip holiday for 3-4 days, all expenses paid. That's what I'm aiming for next year. And then finally, you get compensated for developing leaders in your business. So the first step, though, is to develop yourself and your team. And we have a support infrastructure in place that goes from mentors to coaches. We have meetings and events. This particular weekend is an event. We have 2 of these every year. We also have tools such as what we're on this evening, the Zoom, which is accessible to everyone worldwide. And we also have training available online so that you can train yourself at your disposal anytime you want. We also have websites and webinars to provide support information so that if you want to educate yourself, in addition to these, you have access to that. So at this point, what I'd like to do is offer you the opportunity to make that decision. Now, if you haven't already discovered the technologies and live with them, I would highly recommend you become a customer. Become a customer and start your own story. Start benefiting from the technologies. And I dare you to think the impact that could have on your relationships at home when you start living well. How you're going to communicate with your children, your friends, your coworkers, and what impact those are going to have on your decision-making process for yourself, and how that may impact on your day-to-day living. And then from there, You can make a decision to become either a part-time entrepreneur, that's how I started, or move on to a full-time entrepreneur. I encourage you to look at that and make a decision for yourself. With regards to those, of course, I recommend you sit down with the person that brought you here or invited you this evening and get all your questions answered. Encourage that person to connect you with other NICAN consultants so that you get a different perspective, so that your questions get answered. Either way, I beg you to seriously consider joining us. We need your help. We need your help to make a difference in this world. We want to have an impact so that people all over the world get to benefit a better way of life. A better way of life that can withstand time and help them discover their true potential. What I would like to do now is provide an opportunity to get some of my partners to share what they see with regards to this. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and come back to reality. Here we go. And what I'd like to do is give you I'd like to invite a friend of mine. Actually, she's out in Colorado. Rachel.
Hey there, Michelle. I am here.
Rachel, I wish you were with us. I'm glad you're
I do too.
We miss you here.
Thank you.
A lot of good things happen when we all get together. Great ideas are shared and so on. So we're glad that you're there as an extended family, but I look forward to seeing you soon. Now, yeah. I just mentioned on our call this evening that there's some incentives in place with NICAN. And you're one of the lucky candidates to have won the Team Tai Chi, right?
Team Kaizen.
Kaizen, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. So I'd like you to tell everyone what it is and what that was like.
Well, Team Kaizen is a Japanese word that means constantly improving. And so it was a contest to help bring some people on board and help get them to the first leadership level in NICAN.
Right.
And so it was definitely a team effort. You couldn't just win this on your own merits. You had to have people engage and want to play, want to be part of that effort. And so last year, and there were some other little pieces to it, but that was kind of the big thing that needed to happen. And I know I set a goal when I learned about the contest. I don't know what overcame me. I just decided that I'm so in love with this company and what we're about and what we're pioneering here and what is so necessary to bring to our world is a self-care concept that is going to solve this health challenge that we've got on the earth. And so I felt if I don't step up and win a leadership award, I don't know how I'm going to be looked upon as the Pied Piper. To have people like magnetized to that cause. And so I went way out of my comfort zone and committed from the very beginning that I would do There Was No Try. It was on a whiteboard I had. It said, be Kaizen, do There Is No Try. And I got to tell you, it was so fun, Michelle. I didn't find the people that wanted to play until about July. The contest ran to the end of September. And it took the whole period of time, right till midnight on the last day to pull it off. And I just stayed on task. And I'm so grateful I did. It's changed who I am in this. It changed my confidence about myself as really being integral to the cause we're pioneering. And there's nothing better than the people you meet in NICAN, like you and the friends we make. And it's something quite special. And so that's what came off in this little trip you alluded to a little earlier of having this special time in San Francisco. There were 16 of us, 12 of us were people that had won it, and the other 4 were corporate. We were with the CEO of NICAN, Kurt Foley. We were with the Vice President of Sales, Jeff Isom, and a couple great longtime corporate staff, and it was just a trip. It was a trip. Yeah.
So it's self-evident just by looking at your smile that it was a special experience, and you will not soon forget, obviously. So how well do they treat the people that expand his vision of global health? How do they treat you?
On that trip, oh my gosh. I actually had tears in my eyes at one time when we stayed at the Fairmont Hotel on top of Nob Hill, which is a very high-end hotel, quite a gorgeous lobby. And Kurt Foley made sure we had nice rooms. And a valet arrived and knocked on my door in this very special black bag with ribbons. And out we pulled a jacket that said Team Kaizen, or Julie Tara won Team Taishi, which is even more amazing. We ate at really nice restaurants. Our CEO happens to be an aficionado of fine wines. He's a connoisseur. He's what you might call a foodie. So I think I ate more in 3 days of really quality seafood, fine wines than I've had, and then I might eat in a week or 10 days at all. And one of the things I missed that I have to share, I went out for dinner. We had a free night one night, and on our free night, we had a $100 Visa gift card. Mm. So, I didn't pay for anything. I think I'm on crutches right now. The only thing I paid for was I had to tip a lot of people to help me get around, flying and things like that. But that night, I took my cousin who lives in San Francisco out for dinner. And I threw the $100 Visa card down, and we went to an oyster bar down in the Mission District, and it was great. And I came back, and I was riding in the elevator up to my room, and this group got on, and they had been in the downstairs bar of the hotel, which I didn't even know existed. And I kind of hedged. I'm like, should I go or should I stay and go to bed? Well, I opted to go to bed. And the next day I found out that Mr. Foley had bought 3 bottles of champagne, and the tab on that was $1,000. Wow. And he had that with 6 or 7 of them that were down in the bar. So anyway, pretty special. It's a pretty great company, I think. What do you think, Michel?
Well, I'm all in. I mean, I've seen the impact of these amazing technologies in my family, and they know the significance they can have in our society. And so I'm truly grateful that they have the vision that they have. And I'm very happy that you benefited from your results. I think you deserved, very well deserved for you. And I'm very grateful that you and I are friends, so I can learn all of your tricks and become more, So that's the whole idea, isn't it? It's about humans being more. So on that note, I'd like to thank you, Rachel, for sharing. That's very important. It's important everybody knows that this is for real, and it's not a pie in the sky, but it is an effort, and but it is very, very well rewarded. And I'd like to conclude the call with this thought. Based on the story that Rachel just shared, there's others, of course, that were on this trip. And can you imagine the impact that they had? Not only here in America, but in North America, South America, and the world. Can you imagine seeing and visualizing the expansion of a group of people who want to have a positive impact on this world? That could be you. You don't know. But if you know anyone who has any type of physical challenges, we probably have a solution for them. And you could be the gatekeeper for them to discover what this is all about. I encourage you to keep an open mind, and I beg you to look through the whole process. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to meeting you on the Nikan Highway. And I'll be back next week, same time, same channel. I encourage you to invite some friends and to come share the evening for half an hour with us. We're going to have more great stories. Thank you for your time, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks, Michel.
Thanks for sharing, Cheryl.